Welcome everybody to a brand new timeline of Chronoxiology, a series where I take countless series and their spin-offs and just deconstruct them and put them in order so you can watch them from beginning, point A, to ending, point B, without all the craziness that jumps from this point into that one, and then you forget about this thing that happens before and is just an absolute clusterfuck. So, we've done series before, like Berserk or Haruhi Suzumiya, fairly easy, all the way to very, very convoluted ones like Gundam, that I still have PTSD-like flashbacks whenever I think about it. So, today's topic, lyrical magical girl, Nanoha. And well, before I start losing you, I should probably tell you why you should care about this franchise first. Lyrical Nanoha is a magical girl type of anime, and I know when I say magical girl these days, people's mind jump straight to one of two things. Either the Sailor Moon Precure combo, cute girl fighting dumb villains in an episodic-like format, rinse and repeat for 50 plus episodes for a show you feel like you could watch any episodes in any order and you'd still get the "yeah, I got it" experience. Other titles that I tossed in this category would be stuff like Tokyo Mew Mew, Mermaid Melody, or Shugokara, which, don't get me wrong, they definitely have a fan base that would lynch me at the first toss of a hat if I was to badmouth their show. But those have a demographic more targeted towards children. The other type of magical girl anime would be what we call the dark magical girl. And I'm not talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh one, which I wish it was. But no, more in the mindset of Madoka Magica, Selector Infected Wheatcross, the worser ones like Mahou Shoujo Site or Special Ops Asuka. Lyrical Nanoha is neither. It's an action-based magical girl show with a very intricate plot and even more complicated character relationship, which bode the need for this video. Now, let's assume this intro was enough for me to pique your curiosity and you want as fresh as an outlook on the series as possible with as little spoilers as you can. So here's the TLDR of how you should go about everything, assuming you only care for the anime adaptation, no manga or any medium, and even if you did, these came after, so the original is the anime and any manga are adaptations. My first answer is always the broadcast order. So you start with Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha, then it's Lyrical Nanoha A's, and then Lyrical Nanoha Strikers. Then it wraps up in Lyrical Nanoha Vivid, which arguably isn't as strong as the previous seasons, but that's just my personal opinion sprinkled in, which you obviously care about. No, you don't. That being said, if you came in for the default build, the episodes are fairly linear with minimum confusion in terms of chronological events. Flashbacks should be seen when they're showed and you can just go through every episode. The chaos starts off with the additional spin-offs and the world building, so let's take it back from zero. Everything started off with an erotic game, that's right, an eroge, a hentai game that was called Triangle Heart 3. In it, there is Hitomi, a famous hentai voice actress that performed a music video about Nanoha, which was a magical girl in the story. It was a minor character, but it served as a prototype to launch the series that eventually became Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha, which isn't erotic in the slightest, if that was something you were wondering about. But the Magical Girl transformation sequence kind of put Sailor Moon as a very, very prude type of transformation. Anyway, if you care about the origin story, feel free to check out the prototype video called Lyrical Toy Box, but otherwise your starting point should be Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha. Now, despite this, where it should be your entrance into the franchise, there's two ways to actually go about it. If you want the original experience, then it's the first 13 episodes from 2004, but if you want a more condensed version, they made a movie recap called, well, simply Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha, the movie first. I think the movie is better in terms of production quality. Just the fact that it's in 16:9 instead of 3:4, it's a little touch that I appreciate more. But you know, less runtime always equal less thing getting cut out, so whichever you feel like picking up, solid choice. Once you're done with Season 1, you can pick up Season 2, Nanoha A's. It always kind of sounds dumb when you say it out loud. Oh, A's, like aces? Is that what they were going for? Anyway, Season 2, same thing. Either you watch the series from 2005, or you pick up the second movie. The movie second, A's. That's what they went with. Now here's the weird kicker. If you've been watching this series from this point onward, your next step would be Nanoha Strikers. So you would assume the movie counterpart to be Nanoha Strikers movie 3rd, right? Well, no, this one is called Reflection, and compared to the previous 2 movies, it does not serve as a recap for the 3rd season. Here's the thing. Strikers eventually build the story to the point where it kind of sidelined the main cast to introduce new characters, which eventually Vivid does as well, even further, meaning eventually the show hardly stands to be called Lyrical Nanoha, but the movie Reflection is a direct continuation for those original characters, which has been welcomed by the fans a lot more than the likes of Strikers and Vivid. And Reflection wraps up that arc in the sequel movie called, well, Detonation. So essentially there's 2 branching paths. Either you moved on with Strikers to get a more universe building, or you pick up the movies to get the full story. To be fair, Strikers and Vivid came out before Reflection and Detonation, if that matters in your decision because you want the broadcast order. My personal recommendation is to watch the movies first and then complete with Strikers and Vivid if you really like the original. But if you just can't get enough of that universe, there's even more to go through. That's right, once you're done with Vivid, you can pick up Vivid Strike, which a lot of people were expecting was a sequel to Vivid, when actually it's a side story where it's kind of happening at the same time with different characters. So they're really shut out Nanoha at some point. Now, I know you saw the flowchart on the thumbnail and went directly to what the heck is this clusterfuck of an anime? And yes, absolutely. The thing is, the more the story builds, the more you realize every character is interconnected to another character. From biological kids to clone, and then you got the summons and creations, and then there's the subordinate, the pupils, and the students. You got the friends that becomes romantic interest. It's truly mental. People get murdered by someone you thought was your friend, but it's a clone of someone else that got summoned by the subordinate of the original murder fodder that, look, it melts your brain. But in a really good way. Point is, if you want to give this franchise the time of the day, you can start with either the anime or the movie and then move on to other media if you truly enjoy it. This anime is severely underappreciated and it has a kick-ass soundtrack paired with stunning visuals. It suffers from being part of the magical girl stigma when, well, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing like any other magical girl shows, but hey Louis, play a transformation sequence. And tell me that's not some titties you'd pay some good money for. Also, I'm kind of a dick and I want to start a war in the comment section below, so please tell me which is the best girl and why isn't it Fate? Because you're wrong if you haven't chosen Fate. She's the best one. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and also subscribe maybe. I know some people just watch without ever subscribing, but if you made it all the way to the end of my video, there's a very slim chance I might be able to interest you in something else I'm doing. If not, then check out my playlist of other Connexiologies, they're just as interesting as this one, or the last video I made, which is about hentai. No, I tried. Yes, I could probably try and stretch out this video to the 10-minute mark so I can get that sweet ad revenue, but usually I like these timelines video to be as much to the point as possible. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this Connexiologies of Lyrical Nanoha, and I'll catch you guys next timeline.
The hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.